All right, so Greg, you're really excited about March.
Yeah.
For gaming.
March can be the bomb.
Let's talk about a game that's coming out in March. Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes. You're a big Metal Gear fan.
Yeah, taking a day off for this one. Can't wait.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So-
Life stops when Ground Zeroes arrives.
Yeah. Greg is going to grind up those zeros and snort them.
Yeah. They say the game's only 2 hours long. I'm going to make it 24 hours. I'm going to play that game 12 times.
I'm anxious to see what's happening with Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Let me put this out there first.
Okay.
But surely you can agree that just the whole concept of Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes is confusing.
It's
The way that it locks,
strange.
it goes to Phantom Pain? Like
Yeah,
the way
just-
they've broken up Metal Gear
Yeah.
Solid 5 into the Metal Gear Solid 5 experience.
Yeah.
Yes,
And the first
bizarre.
is a 2-hour game that they wanted to ask, that they're asking $40 for, and now they just lowered the price for the next gen.
Sure,
retail
well, they've
version.
gotten so much flack
Right? It's
for
just
it.
like it's just confusing to me.
Yeah.
From what I hear, though, that it's not actually just like 2 hours and you're done.
No, there's a whole bunch of extra. It's you know,
Yeah.
you're in this open world-esque
Yeah.
base where you're going around. So it's like Ryan Scott tweeted about how, and so did Mitch actually, how much this game is like Peace Walker, and how for Peace Walker, if you didn't play it, there's a main story campaign, but as you progress, you unlock outer ops and secondary ops to go through that can be target practice or just VIP missions and going through and doing these different things. You can replay the mission that you did for the story to get a better score. That's what I'm expecting out of this. I'm expecting it to be, the story itself is 2 hours long, however it's been quoted at, but when you get out there, there's going to be different reasons to replay missions or different reasons to go off on these little side missions. I don't know
But is
how
it
much
weird-
juice you're going to get out of the orange.
But it's weird that they're releasing this first to retail for $30.
No, what are Konami's other huge money-making franchises?
So that they just need it? That's
I would
what?
think so. Wouldn't
That's
you?
my question.
Wouldn't you? Everything they do is underperforming.
I don't
Well,
understand. I haven't got.
they just released Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
Sure, but even before that, I mean, it's just one of those things where I think they look at the bottom line and they're like,
And Phantom
Pez isn't
Pain,
doing as well as we wanted it to.
Phantom Pain doesn't have a release date yet.
Right,
So
that's-
it's like, well, we don't know when this is going to be done. Can we put something out?
Exactly.
So do you think? I've heard the PR answer. Do you think that's the true? No one's giving me a true.
What's the
real world
PR answer? The PR answer is that we want to make an experience?
No, the answer is why does this exist? I'm so confused about why
That's a
Ground
question.
Zeroes is a thing that exists. Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, has there ever been anything like this?
No, but I'm asking for the viewers at home, what's the PR answer? What does PR say to that question?
Because the world of Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain is such a huge, new, strange open world that this is going to bridge the gap between Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay.
And it's this product
And
that
Kojima
exists
has
in
said
between
that-
that and orients them in that world.
You know, it's going to take some time to finish Phantom Pain. He wants to get something out there sooner.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, what worries me about what you just said, Justin, or what they said, what you paraphrase them saying,
Sure.
is that does that mean in order to play Metal Gear Solid 5,
Right.
I need to play this? I
Yes.
need to buy two
I have
things in
so
order
many
for this
questions.
to make
Like,
sense?
what happens if you don't play this and jump right into 5? Are
Right.
you going to be lost then? Like,
I think that stands for any Metal Gear game, but pretty much most. No, actually, screw that. No, any Metal Gear game. This is what I'm always talking about when you do the PlayStation 3 list, right? The top 25 we do at IGN. Historically, we've kept Metal Gear Solid 4 off that list. It got a 10. I was the secondary opinion on it. Jeff Haynes reviewed it, but I was the one saying, "Yup, I love Metal Gear Solid. This is a 10. It is. A Metal Gear Solid 4 is a 10 to Metal Gear Solid fans. If you are just, hey, I just bought a PS3. I've never played a Metal Gear. Do not play Metal Gear Solid 4. Go read an entire novel about Metal Gear. Then you're ready to play 4. Otherwise, you don't get any of the references.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people slept on Peace Walker as much as I beat that PSP drum. And I think they're going to come in being like, I don't understand what's happening. And like,
Greg Miller's favorite game of all time.
favorite game of the generation, favorite game of all time, Lock. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
So
clearly I'm stoked.
With
Metal
the-
Gear Solid next gen.
I think the
Peace
game looks awesome. Every
Yeah,
time I
sure.
see it, like I totally want to play it.
I do
Yeah.
agree with that. I'm just confused. You know, there's me complaining about this as a product, like as a business decision, and then as like as a game. I think as a game, it looks super cool. I'm just
Yeah.
weirded out by why it exists.
I think it's totally bizarre. I think the rollout plan has been bizarre. I forget who on Twitter pointed it out yesterday, but it was like, Konami's official press release comes out, and the subject line on it is Konami leaks Metal Gear Solid. You're like, no, you don't leak your own information to the press, to everyone in an official press release. That's not how it works.
The thought that I did have after we sort of decided this was going to be a topic for GameScoop was it's almost like DLC that comes out before the game.
A lot of people, a couple of people were saying that, yeah.
And so once I sort of thought about it that way, it sort of oriented me in a different headspace, where like Left Behind comes out, you get a little chunk of gameplay after a video game, and it tells a little different side story. And this is like that, but it's before the game. And I'm like, well, I don't know that that's like smart. It makes a lot of sense, but at least I sort of it orients me in the right headspace to get what this is now.
It's one of the, I mean, sadly, we probably will never know all of the behind closed doors how this came to be. But yeah, we always talk about, okay, Sony Santa Monica just laid off a whole bunch of people.
Yep.
Last week, Irrational laid off a bunch of people. There are real business concerns to making games. So how long assumably he's been working on this since Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, right? They started that Fox engine that they've been showing forever and ever and ever. That's years and years of development time, millions of dollars. They need to get a return on it somehow. So that's what, I mean, like, I totally believe it's a mixture of, they're like, you have to put something out. And he's like, okay, like, this is what we can do. I'd imagine you look at it, right, it strikes me as the tanker from Metal Gear Solid 2, where, you played as Snake, and then it gets destroyed, you come back and you ride, and there's that big reveal, but that was one game broken into two parts. Even Metal Gear Solid 3, right, you start off, you go off, you do your thing, then there's, like, the nuclear explosion or everything, then the game starts proper, like, it's real story. This strikes me as probably designed to be the same way. Like, I mean, what do you think's going to happen at the end of this? If you've seen the Phantom Pain trailer, spoiler alert, he's going to get effed up bad.
He gets messed
and he's
up
gonna
he wakes up in the hospital.
Wake up in some veterans hospital, and there's going to be goddamn spirit whale for no reason. I don't know. But, like...
Remember when they announced that? How confusing that was?
Totally. Well, and that's the other thing. This has been the most confusing campaign reveal of all time.
Kojima.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Do you think that they lowered the price? It was going to be $40, and they announced on next gen.
But it's so confusing. The next gen retail version was going to be $40, $10 more than everything else. So they lowered that to it. So I think they're all $30.
So it's $30, but digital was always going to be $30.
Yeah.
And so why do you think they did that?
Backlash. I think the fact that it came out and everyone was super vocal. I mean, like, we're not the only people saying this is a confusing campaign to begin with. The fact that it was too expensive, a lot of people were saying. And then the fact that, like, trust me, they wanted to keep the 2-hour thing hidden as long as possible.
Yeah.
And it got out too early, probably.
And it's $20 on the current gen consoles, right? Digitally, I think.
Right,
I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought it was 30, no?
Isn't it? I thought it was...
No one has any idea.
Well, you don't buy it on current gen.
I might have read...
Current gen is
I
dead.
was reading
it's all
up on
about
this.
current gen.
No, well, last gen is dead.
Current gen is current gen, and last gen is now gen.
On PS3 and 360, I thought the digital version was $20, but that might have been old info.
I can check for you if you want. Damn, I'll let me use the phone.
Anyway, I am very excited to check it out.
Yeah.
It looks really
You want
cool.
to take a day off with me? We can get two TVs, put them side by side, put headphones on?
Greg, we can finish on our lunch break, apparently.
You took a 2-hour lunch break?
Yeah, we got it.